So, there's no doubt that Fallout 76 has had a rough launch. From a plethora of critics bending the game over their knee and giving it the belt, to the price dropping faster than my trousers when I'm home alone. Things don't look so good for Bethesda's new release. It is true that Fallout 76 does some things right and can be a lot of fun. It's a great idea with a ton of potential, but ultimately it's held back by a great deal of technical and creative issues. So, much like the Jehovah's Witnesses that come to my door, we have to ask, can he really be saved? I recently made a post on Reddit outlining some of the biggest problems with Fallout 76 and posed some potential solutions Bethesda could implement to fix them. And that's pretty much what I'm gonna do here too. Number 1. Oh no, my nuke missed Appalachia and hit this game's code! So, if I were in a restaurant and somebody served me this game, I'd send it back to the kitchen and probably hear Gordon Ramsay scream, "It's raw, Melissa!" Should this game have been released as technically flawed as it is? Should I have eaten that 5-year-old milk? No. It shouldn't have so many game-breaking bugs, crashes the desktop, or technical mishaps. But much like catching my nuts in the doors of an elevator, we just have to see how this plays out. It's now up to Bethesda to patch the living shit out of this game and make it a much more comfortable experience. Things like stupid AI need fixing. I mean, cool man, don't even react to your friend getting wasted. I'd at least grab his wallet or something. Shadows not loading in, causing things in the distance to look like you're looking through a portal into a PS2 game, also need working on. The game looks good with shadows, give me more shadows! And while you're at it, maybe tweak the depth of field so it doesn't make me feel like I'm going blind. Despite all of this, however, arguably their most difficult and important battle is forming the game underneath that mess. Number 2, do you want me to kill this hobo or not? This game needs to decide whether it wants us to PvP or not. I'm of the opinion that we should get rid of this slap damage shit and do full damage. The only slapping I like doing is slapping people's brains out of their head with a 308 round. However, we could then have the pacifist flag disable all incoming damage. Those who don't want trouble, enable that. On top of that, PvP scaling is very broken. In the lore, power armor can take a missile dead on. Nobody should be able to one-tap a guy in power armor with something being held together by duct tape. Some little level 6 baby boy sees a level 500 guy in power armor running about, that level 6 guy should be decorating the floor with the contents of his bowel. Lower level players obviously need a chance though. While power armor can take a few bullets, it has a weakness. If shot in the fusion core, it should either do substantially more damage or it should disable the suit altogether. Make them play smart. But if a player is going head on against power armor with a pipe pistol, he should be a very dead boy every single time. Then you can just use functional scaling outside of the armor, because remember kids, someone gets shot in the head, they dead. Number 3, I'm not hoarding, you're hoarding! Ah, the stash, imposed with a £400 limit because of technical reasons. They're already looking into this one, so I won't spend too much time on it. They recently announced it's being increased to £600, which is a good start. Somebody proposed having it upgradable using in-game resources. They could also have junk and ammo be weightless inside of it. Either way, it has to be a bit more lenient for a game that primarily rewards you through dropped loot. Also, why not make all power armor give you a boost to carry weight? Just make Excavator give the biggest boost of all. I want to steal more desk fans, Bethesda! Number 4. Oh, you want me to go kill things again? Okay. One thing that Fallout games of the past have done very nicely is give you choices. Do I kill everyone now or do I kill everyone later? The fact that this game even has quests sets it apart from its survival competition. However, this game needs to learn a thing or two from its siblings. Give us meaningful choices, give us morality. Make me feel evil when I choose to kill a baby so I can have some candy. There are some fun quests, but many fail to leave a lasting impression. Give us more skill checks that have an effect on the outcome of a quest. Make us defuse a bomb and rely on our luck when our character is stupid. Even if it's just a text box in the middle of our screen, decisions that matter feel good. They can put you under pressure and feel rewarding when you make the right one. Give us the old list of text options from your older games for quest givers being added in the future. Let us ask them things and find out more about them. And use your holotapes and terminals to give us more. Going forward, give us more experience we won't forget. This stems into multiplayer experiences too. Use quests to facilitate fun experiences. A group triggers a quest and has to complete an objective. Other players in the server are notified and incentivized to stop them. You know, things like that. Number 5, Fallout 76 slept with me and never called me back. So here is Fallout 76's biggest problem in my opinion. There are no human NP, no, just kidding. It's permanence. The lack of persistent servers. In this game, the marks you make on the world fade when you leave. This is in stark contrast to the marks on my bedsheets, which never fade. This problem has a huge impact on everything from the multiplayer to the main narrative, and is the reason why human NPCs cannot exist in the game as it stands. If you claim a workshop, build your defenses, then disconnect, when you join back, your work will be gone. The workshop has reset because you're now in a different world. It can leave you feeling distance from the world and your actions in it. This is why there's no human NPCs, because there is no way you could possibly have a meaningful impact on them. As soon as you rejoin the game, any changes you've made to the world will have faded, unlike the bedsheets. Even if you get disconnected in the middle of a nuke going off, it'll no longer be there when you get back in. The world is the exact same at the beginning of the game's narrative as it is at the end. Nothing changes, nothing's affected. The worst implication this lack of permanence has is with the multiplayer. The whole mantra this game was sold on was based around the player deciding the heroes and deciding the villains. You can't do that, because when you log back in, you're matched with different players. The game gives us glimpses, fleeting moments that show us how these player interactions could be. But ultimately, the ability to craft a narrative with other players that spans across multiple play sessions does not exist. So, how on earth did they fix this? Well, their servers have to learn a thing or two from STIs, learn some persistence. A possible solution is a server browser and persistent servers. This server browser can function alongside matchmaking and your character progression would still be tied to your account, but ultimately this would allow the player to join back into the same world each time with the same regular players, the same workshops, and the same marks in the world. Then groups can form, tensions can rise along with my penis, and we can get that drama that Todd Howard talked about. To illustrate my point, one time, I claimed the ammo factory up north and built some pretty nice defenses. Guy strolled on in, clad in T60 power armor before stopping awkwardly like he walked in on me touching my ding-dong. He wants that base, I have it. What does he do? Does he trade? Does he fight? Join my team? Try to negotiate? Nope. He hops right on out of that server. If that world was persistent, maybe the outcome would have been different. This is his world too, and he wants that base. What's he gonna do to get it? That's become known as server hopping, and it's a rather cheap meta. Number 6, end game? More like end my pain. As it currently stands, the end game for Fallout 76 revolves around finding junk to repair weapons and launching nukes. Not much to it. The nuke zones don't even yield good loot unless you nuke very specific spots. However, if you were to give this game persistent servers, the players would essentially make the end game themselves. All Bethesda needs to do is add dynamic systems to facilitate that, facilitate role-playing. Imagine big clashes between player-made factions fighting to control the workshops on the server. There'd be an actual reason to be a mentally crippled hoarder incapable of letting inanimate objects go. I want desk fans so I can fuck up Jimmy from next door. In conclusion, yes, Fallout 76 can be saved after its less than stellar launch. Right now, it can be fun, much like spending the night with a hooker. It can show you a good time, but it's probably gonna give you AIDS. The game as it stands ultimately falls short of its unique potential, the potential to create interesting stories between players and for players that really stick with you. It delivers a diverse and interesting landscape, but it still really needs to utilize it. Of course, everything I've said in this video is purely my opinion, and every solution I propose is to be taken with a grain of salt. However, at the end of the day, it's more constructive to pose the solution to just do a big watery shit in the game like you've been eating a spicy burrito for 5 years straight. Fallout 76 can be great, but Bethesda have their work cut out for them if you ask me. The ball is in their court, they've heard the backlash. What are they gonna do about it? Server hop?